Hi everybody, yes, here's the news. We still haven't got a musical warning to start before this, but we'll get there. Um, how's the mic? Can you hear me? Sure. Very good. Okay. Um, anyway, this has certainly been an eventful morning, hasn't it? All you traders out there in crude oil land should be happy campers. Anyway, I want to go back over. I marked this chart so I could remind myself before I started this, because it's hard to find some of this stuff. We're done with we all know this was there. Okay, let's take a look at where we left off this morning and this new chart, because I think there's some valuable lessons to be learned, and if we can all get our heads together, I think we'll different people will start to notice different things, and everybody can benefit from this. I mean, I'm not the only, Pied Piper in town here. Everybody's got their charts set just a little differently, just a little things that make it easier and better. So if anybody comes up with a great idea, for heaven's sakes, let the rest of us know, please. This morning we were talking about crude oil was in this choppy business. Oh, let's see, you need the pointers better. Okay, it's in this choppy business right here. We also had very, very little volume, but notice what happened when the volume came in. We still right now are trading 365,000 contracts, which is a considerable amount of volume in crude oil. So it's below what we had yesterday afternoon going into the close at 650 almost. But if you, in a way, you have to keep in the back of your mind everything we've already learned about the apex system, and yet be able to filter it out into this new chart. I think Daryl worked really hard on coming up with this to try and make things easier for people that were just starting out with us, because admittedly, trying to learn all the apex system and the apex rules and all the indicators and this and that and the next thing gets a little overwhelming, and we're very well aware of that. Everybody is. I think Leah hit the nail on the head when she first came in. She was saying this is the land of overwhelm, and that's the new normal. But if you filter out in your mind quite a few other things and just pay attention to where is the market relative to your EMA, and I think the chart defaults, this is orange or some other color that I couldn't see. So I made mine black and dashed because I want it right in front of my face. It's really important. So if, and granted, when the we'll get there in a minute when the inventory came out. But crude oil, we've talked about this before, crude oil has a tendency to kind of sit there and sit there and sit there, and you think, oh, it's never going to do anything, and all of a sudden it just bursts. There's a little spurt of direction one way or the other, and that's what it did right here as it broke out of the high of the day. But we're looking for this, for the market to be above our EMA right here. Above it, we need green candles or bars or whatever you have on your chart. This needs to be green. Everything needs to be green and everything needs to be above this line. So if you got in right here with this, after the chop warning bars that are orange, if we got in right here and rode this, there's no reason to get out here. You can use this predictor right here for a trailing stop if you like. But there's no reason to get out here because the bars have not changed color. And what do we know about crude oil when it gets to magnets and major streets? It takes a breath for a bar or two. It'll put in, this is, if it's going to put in an elevator, this is where it'll put it in. So there's no reason to get out here. Stay with it. Keep going. Normally, I would get out at the top of this range channel just because the bus driver tends to turn around at the top of the range channel. But with this system, everything's still green, no reason to get out. You tighten your stop, you're trailing your stop along. But when you've got about anything nearing 80 or 100 ticks in crude oil, you need to be looking for the next major street for this thing to stop, because crude oil rarely will go just straight on forever and ever and ever. It would be nice, but that's not likely to happen. The probability of that is relatively small. So you still have no reason to get out. Your bars are still green. You have another E. This is a green E on your apex forming right here. It's telling you there is more movement to the upside, but at this deviation level right here, I would be out. You would have approximately 130 ticks. If you're new to trading crude oil, that translates into money of $1,300 on a one lot. So let's see. Let me see. Jack, the EMA setting on this is in the indicators. It is the diagnostic EMA right here. Setting is a 50 period, and it defaults to that. I just changed the color so I could see it better. So anyway, you get out right up here. Are you hearing a bunch of lawnmower-y stuff in the background? Sorry about that. I can't do anything about it right now. Oh, okay. Just a teeny bit. Okay, well, at least they're not right under my window yet. And then, since you got out, these are still green bars. So you, I mean, if you're trading the Apex system or you're using Trend Catcher, you probably get an earlier entry back here on this. You have to go back and check. But my point is, yes, you know this is going to go down. You've got the deviation mountain has cleared the cloud line here. I mean, it's cleared up to the volcano level. So as long as this thing is going down, it's going to continue to go down. But you have green bars here. So you could have a more experienced, aggressive trader could get in, say, at the bottom of this. But if you're trying to learn how to use this, let the green bars all go by. Pick up the red bar. Take an entry from here, because what do we know about all these markets relative to settlement? They like to return to settlement. So if you took it from here, the red bar, down to settlement, you had another approximately 50 ticks. Once this has crossed back over right here, you could take this. My immediate question would be, okay, fine, so where are you expecting to get out? This is a failed E right here. So I'm not too anxious. You could take it 2 ticks above the corresponding arrow of this, but I don't know where it's going to go, especially after a run like that. So I'm inclined to just sit out and let it wait. When it comes back through your EMA line right here, wait for the red bars to form. But this is a significant level right here. This is settlement, and it's the midline of yesterday's ice or volume, which is designated with this ice midline. So you could take this from here and take it all the way down to the red ice line. And the reason you don't need to get out, which normally that's what I would do, you're trailing your stop along here, but you have no green bars. You have no green candles whatsoever. They're all red. Everything's red. So you stay with it all the way down. You've got another until you hit a major, this is a huge thing right here. It is the low of the day, and it's the red ice line. So if you've got 80 ticks on your for your profit, be very happy, especially if you got a good portion of the run before. But still, staying with our red program because our EMA is still going down, down, down. And you think, well, you know, I'd like to get in again and see if I could scalp something maybe. You could have gotten in. This is chop right here. This is designated by these orange candles. So then you could get in again at this red bar and take it down to the bottom of this green zone right here. These green zones, that bus driver knows exactly where those levels are. And so forth. And there's another down trade right here from the ice on down. I would have been looking for it to go to the bottom of this range channel right here. But remember, you're never going to get everything exactly, every last tick there is out of it. If you can get 60% of a run, then you have done very, very well. So let's see. I will stop here. Yeah, Robert, welcome to the club. It's like trying to learn 10 things at one time. That's just exactly, you hit the nail on the head. You need to separate out what's important to you and just learn one thing at a time. Put one foot in front of the other and keep on keeping on, because it will all come together for you. I know that from my personal experience. Let's see, we have another question. Why would you take the trade through the crude oil report time frame? It is right back here. The crude oil was announced right here. I'll show you. It's been below. It's been below here. You're going to get out right here. There's no reason for you not to right in here. There's no reason to get, if you want to get out at this magnet, that's fine. But you expect the volatility. If it hasn't crossed here, this is a little different style of trading. That's for sure. No question about it. But this, you could have just remained in. If you were trailing your stop down here, you would have gotten stopped out. But this is why it's all a personal style. You have to work with this enough to develop what you're comfortable with. So I hope that makes sense. I know at first it makes about as much sense as clearing the muddy water. But it does come together if you just stay with it. One of the reasons people ask me why you use so many charts to trade the same thing, it's because you see different things on different charts. If I put all this stuff on one chart, pretty soon I'm so paralyzed with analyzing I can't make any decision. So if you get a little different perspective on each one, then all of a sudden something will click for you. And Larry makes a great point. The main thing is to keep the main thing being the main thing. And the main thing is to make money. So how you put that together, we have the tools. It's truly, that's a great name for that toolkit, because that's what it is. You don't have to use every single tool in the toolkit, but pick and choose the ones that work for you. And I can tell you from experience, start with a very simple chart and then start adding one thing at a time until you get a combination that works for you personally. Because trying to work with all of it at once is a little much. So with the movement we've had, and we have had a continual drift down, we've cleared the ice zone, and the next major stop is this big magnet down here at what is that, 4320, I believe, or 4310, 4315, right here. This is a big magnet. I don't expect big moves this afternoon. That doesn't mean there won't be any. But typically when crude oil has had these big moves up and then a big move down like this, in the afternoon it will tend to chop around. If that's the case, don't try and beat the bus driver at his own game, because that's how you get chopped to pieces. And there are good trades. Just wait for the really, really good ones. And we've had plenty of good ones this morning. So anyway, this has been my view from my world. And I will see you at 2:30, and we'll see what the afternoon has brought and kind of get an overall view of tomorrow. The VIX is still holding, and bonds have decided they are going up for a while. So we'll see what happens. Catch you later. Thanks.